Dear students, you are welcome to my online teaching classes. I'm Srispal Chauhan and this is stream for UGC-Net students who are appearing in UGC-Net exam and HPSC screening test also. And this is helpful for HTET Haryana also. And in a way, this stream will help all types of students who study English literature, right? English literature students will be benefited from this. And I have taken Tintern Abbey. What is the full title of Wordsworth's poem Tintern Abbey? You have to tell the full title. And these are not MCQs, but I have given answer. This is quick study on Tintern Abbey MCQs, and MCQs will be there. There will be 4 options to you. But if you have been given this option also, this is the right answer. This is the correct answer you have to choose. If you go through all the correct answers, then you shall be prepared for other questions also. Okay, you will be prepared to tackle all types of answers. Let me see my live stream. Okay. Yes. Let me check out whether my live stream is continuing or not. All right. Second question is, when was Tintern Abbey first published? When was Tintern Abbey first published? All right. When was Tintern Abbey first published? And the answer is 1798. It was included in the lyrical ballads. It was included in the lyrical ballads, and so it was published in 1798. All right. Let's see. Third question. In which collection did Tintern Abbey first appear? You have to tell the collection. I have just told you that it was today. It was lyrical ballads. The collection, the name of the collection was Lyrical Ballads. It was published in the Lyrical Ballads. All right. Okay, I'm not handing out my live stream. Yes, this is Tintern Abbey. Right. Let me begin today's live stream. Yes. Okay, fourth question is. Okay, I'm not handing out my live stream. Yes. All right. It's going on well. Let me begin today's live stream. How many years have passed since the poet last visited? Okay, how many years have passed since the poet last visited Tintern Abbey? 5 years. You must know that William Wordsworth revisited Tintern Abbey after 5 years. Previously, he had also gone to this place, but after that, he took he took how many years? 5 years. He took 5 years to revisit Tintern Abbey. With whom does Wordsworth visit Tintern Abbey in the poem? Who was accompanying William Wordsworth when he revisited Tintern Abbey? Actually, his sister, you must know her name, Dorothy. Dorothy was accompanying him during this visit. Which river is mentioned in the poem? The river is Wye. If you remember all these questions, you will be able to cover up all multiple choice questions, at least which I am discussing here. What kind of imagery is predominantly used in Tintern Abbey? What kind of imagery? You will have certain options, but here the correct answer is natural imagery has been shown in Tintern Abbey, right? Natural imagery has been shown here in Tintern Abbey. Dear students, if you are joining my stream, please write some comment what type of questions you want, and I shall be regularly coming for you if you make a group, and my stream will be free of cost, right? Okay, next question, let's take, what does Wordsworth express gratitude for in the poem? Gratitude means sense of thankfulness. You must know. Sense of thankfulness. For what does Wordsworth show sense of thankfulness in this poem? The restorative power of nature. Nature has immense powers. It heals human mind, human heart. It never betrays human heart. If you are sad, William Wordsworth believed that you must go into the lap of nature, and nature has healing power. It never disappoints human heart. And there was a difference between William Wordsworth and his colleague H.T. Coleridge. In the beginning, he was very much influenced by William Wordsworth's point of view, but later on, he didn't believe that if you are sad, you go into the lap of nature, you will become happy. He was somewhat realistic in the later days of his life and his poetic career. I have read this. The restoration power of nature. What is the restoration power of nature? Nature restores everything damaged done to human beings. If you are disappointed, you will become relaxed in the lap of nature, and nature itself restores its own health also. As our human body is also capable of doing this thing, our human body also restores our dead cells. Okay, in the same way, it has restoration power of nature. Who is Wordsworth's dear friend referred to in the poem? And when options will be given to you, you may be tempted to name H.T. Coleridge, because we think that H.T. Coleridge was William Wordsworth's colleague and friend. But here he doesn't mention H.T. Coleridge here. He doesn't say dear friend. It is only for Dorothy, his sister. Dorothy, sister, he used dear friend. What does Wordsworth hope his sister will derive from nature? Nature is a great teacher, as William Wordsworth believed, and it teaches you moral lessons. It makes you morally strong. It teaches you how to become bold. it teaches you how to struggle. So he also hopes that his sister Dorothy must learn all these values. She should imbibe all these values in her personality. Basically, wisdom we learn from nature, and peace. Serenity is there. There is atmosphere of serenity in nature, and he also, William Wordsworth, hoped that his sister must learn all these human values and wisdom and peace. All right. What does Wordsworth describe as the still sad music of humanity? Yes, still sad music of humanity. If you study deeply this poem, Tintern Abbey, you will find that there are three stages of William Wordsworth's personality development. In the first stage, he is a different person. In the second stage, he is a different person. And in the third stage, the cycle is complete and he becomes wise and maturer than before. And he listens to the still sad music of humanity in this phase of his life, right? And this is his mature poetry. When he adds impersonality into his personal poems, then autobiographical poem, then his works achieve greatness and they become journal. They become truth in a way. So, still sad music of humanity. The poet listens to this sad music of humanity, he will be considered great. And he means to say the hardships of life. And he has visited city life also during his stay, during his gap of 5 years. He experienced the humdrum of city life. Then he contrasted the humdrum of city life to the peaceful life of Tintern Abbey. Around Tintern Abbey, he was always in the habit of wandering about here and there in the lake districts where he wrote most of his poetry. How does Wordsworth describe the influence of nature on his mind? You must know that nature in the beginning was not so purposeful for this boy of having passionate feelings for nature, and in the later stage, nature elevated his thoughts. Elevated means raised his thoughts to a great dimension where he was capable of listening to the sad music of humanity. So his thoughts were elevated. Right? Let's go ahead. What role does memory play in the poem? Memory in a way plays a vital role in romantic poetry. And if you have studied the features, the characteristics of romantic poetry, you must know that imagination is one of the main features, one of the main characteristics of romanticism. Right? In neoclassical poetry, there was no place for imagination. So memory plays very vital role in romantic poetry, as you must know from the study of lyrical ballads or the study of daffodils also, in which he, in a way, in indirect way, he tells about his way of writing poetry. He does not create poetry all at once. While sitting in the lap of nature, he doesn't start writing poetry. He comes back to home and those thoughts, they get assimilated, they get mixed up in his routine life. Then all of a sudden he remembers those experiences of his nature and experiences when he enjoyed beautiful daffodils or beautiful sights of nature. Then he described, then those thoughts come into his mind with emotions in tranquility, and then he is able to write poetry. So memory plays vital role in the process of writing poetry. It's a source of joy and solace, and he doesn't feel sad whenever he is in pensive mood, whenever he is sitting idle, he is thinking about anything, he is under some pressure of day-to-day life, then those joys and solace experienced in the lap of nature come to his rescue, and then he becomes happy and thrilled. Okay, let's go ahead. Which season is depicted in the poem? Summer season is depicted in the poem. What is Wordsworth's attitude towards the past in the poem? Towards the past means 5 years back, when he lived in city or he experienced city life. He is talking about this past. What is Wordsworth's attitude, point of view towards the past in the poem? Does he think that his past has been useless? Does he think that his past was attractive, very helpful for him, or does he think that his past experiences before 5 years were better than the present one? So it was nostalgic. Now, nostalgic means when you feel something has gone and you remember it fondly. You are very fond of remembering the past. You get lost into your beautiful past several times whenever you are sitting idle. You have nothing to do. If you enter your past in a very interesting manner, you feel some happiness there. So you feel some escape, relaxation there. Then you are nostalgic about your past, right? Let's move ahead. How does Wordsworth describe the landscape around Tintern Abbey? The landscape around Tintern Abbey, you are to find out, you can guess. William Wordsworth cannot sit on a place, or he cannot move into a place where there are disturbances, there are humdrum of life. Actually, he doesn't like the humdrum of life. Humdrum means the noise. Humdrum, yes, noise of city life. He doesn't like this. He lives in far from madding crowds of human life, right? So it must be tranquil and picturesque. Picturesque means the landscape was very beautiful, it was very soothing for him, and it provided him peace, tranquility, peaceful atmosphere. Which emotion is most prevalent in the poem? Prevalent means that is spread throughout the poem. Which emotion? Serenity. Serenity means peace. Peace, emotion of peace is moving throughout the poem. It has become a motif throughout the poem. What does Wordsworth hope his sister will remember from their visit? You are to tell from the point of view of William Wordsworth. What does his sister must remember? What is worth remembering for Dorothy, his sister, from their combined visit to Tintern Abbey? He hopes that she must get some peace. She must remember beauty of the place, serene atmosphere of the natural surrounding, and she must gain wisdom and peace, right? These peaceful, these these beautiful lessons she must remember. So this was a hope by William Wordsworth. All right. Please share my videos, share my lives to your friends so that I may get more subscribers, and these will be beneficial for all. And write in comment box what you feel about all these. Please write your requirements also. All right, let's go ahead. These are 30 questions. All right, we have reached to 18th question now. Then 19th question. What does Wordsworth compare his past self to? Yes, before 5 years. What does Wordsworth compare his past? This is past before 5 years, and now in present, at present time, when he is around Tintern Abbey. This was a place just above Tintern Abbey. It means there must be some hilly area, and Tintern Abbey, suppose this is the place, and he must be wandering about here and there and writing this poem around near Tintern Abbey. Right? What does Wordsworth compare his past self to? He compares his past to a worshipper of nature. In the beginning, before 5 years, he was a worshipper of nature, lover of nature, and after that, he was also a lover of nature. He was a worshipper of nature. How does the poem reflect the principles of Romanticism? Yes, principles of Romanticism by celebrating nature and personal emotion. Romanticism was based on personal emotion. All the poets like Keats, Shelley, Byron, Coleridge, they wrote personal poetry. In the beginning, they were personal, but at the later stage, they generalized their themes. And this is their greatness. As in Grecian Urn, as in Otto Nightingale, Keats also, in the beginning of his career, he was personal poet, autobiographical poet, but later on he was raised to the dimension of writing great poetry when he started writing about human sufferings. He reflected human sufferings into his poetry, then his poetry achieved greater dimension. No poetry that is autobiographical or talks about, tells about emotions, personal emotion, that's not great poetry. When he equalizes, when he is raised to the level of greatness, when, as for example, you can take truth is beauty, beauty truth, when he finds all the creations of life true and beautiful, whether it is having people like Iago, there may be cruel people there, there may be good natured people, but all are the creation of God. So truth is beautiful, beauty is truth. So celebrating nature and personal emotion. He talks about nature, he writes about nature, and he talks about his personal emotion, as we find in Lucy poems also, as we find in Prelude, also as we find in Tintern Abbey. He starts from his personal emotions. Which phrase best captures the poet's experience of revisiting Tintern Abbey? Renewed appreciation. Renewed in the sense he visited Tintern Abbey after 5 years. And after 5 years gap, he must have felt disillusioned in city life. He must have felt very sad and dejected. He must have experienced the French Revolution's outcomes, He must have seen Napoleon, the wars done by Napoleon and all that. Many things must have made him disillusioned. So when he revisited Tintern Abbey, he was full of renewed appreciation. It was a fresh appreciation for nature and its works. How does Wordsworth describe his youthful appreciation of nature? That was thoughtless and passionate. Only as a boy who was passionate of seeing the things, yeah, looking at the things of nature with wonder. There was an element of wonder when he was a boy, when he first visited the natural surroundings. He didn't use any thought. And basically, in romantic poetry, thoughts are not dominating romantic poetry. Thoughts may get secondary place there. Emotion, they get emotions are on first place in romantic poetry. Thoughts are very minimum used in romantic poetry. But passionate he was. He didn't talk about any presence of divine element in the objects of nature. In the later stage, he talks about. So, in the youthful days, his appreciation was thoughtless and passionate. What does Wordsworth believe nature can teach humans? Yes, this is nature is a great teacher. It teaches us moral and spiritual lessons, spiritual truths. At his last third page of in the poem Tintern Abbey, he talks about these moral lessons and spiritual truths. He is able to learn every value that a good personality must possess. So nature makes our personality great. It teaches us boldness. It teaches us how to sacrifice in our life. Many things we learn from nature. It has healing power. So the person who is the son of nature, they can face life very boldly. They can go through any type of hardship of life. Which of the following best describes the tone of the poem? It's reflective. Reflective, how you can describe reflective? Reflective in the sense that he remembers his past. When you are thinking about your past, you are reflective in your thoughts. Your reflection means when we find something that has gone and we are remembering that thing, we are reflecting, we are going back, we are recalling something in our mind, then our mind is reflective. Alright, what does Wordsworth say about the human soul in relation to nature? Yes, human soul, relation to nature, it's a part of nature. Our soul is a part of nature. We are made up of the same element which the nature is. We have 5 elements in our body, and there are 5 elements in nature also. When human body is burnt, right, then everything get mixed up in the 5 elements of nature. So there is a great relationship between nature and human soul, right? It's elevated with the help of nature. In the beginning, the soul is not experienced, right? When William Wordsworth visited Tintern Abbey, he was not an elevated being. His soul was not elevated. It was just passionate. Slowly, gradually, he was raised to the elevated being, personality. His personality was raised, means his soul was raised. If we say our personality has been raised to a good level, then our soul you develop your soul. John Keats somewhere says, this world is a whale of soul making. Whale of soul making, he said. God gives soul making, yes. God gives birth to human souls, right? Whale means valley of soul making. God gives us birth, and in the childhood we are not able to reflect any wisdom. Gradually, experiences teach us how to face life, how to learn moral things. We go into the lap of nature, then we learn many things. By experience, also, we learn many things. So, in this world, our towards the death point, human being learns many things. He raises his personality in this curve, like that. In the beginning, he is not much wise, then he gets wisdom and he is raised to a good personality. His soul is raised to elevated thoughts, right? In this way, there is a growth of human personality, and nature plays vital role in making us great personality, in making us soul elevated to a high level, right? How does the poet feel about the changes that have occurred in him his last visit? What changes did occur in him in his last visit, since his last visit? Okay, content and grateful, these two great virtues. Contentment means satisfaction. When you are satisfied in your life, this is great virtue. If you are restless, it means you are in some turmoil of life. Grateful, when you are thankful to God, you must thank God or nature for thankful. You must be thankful to God for everything. For even food you are eating, before eating food, you must thank God. Oh God, you have given me life. You have given me this food, and this food is not available to many human beings on this earth. I'm fortunate that I have got 3 times meal. So we must learn how to become grateful. We must learn how to become contented. So this visit made William Wordsworth learn all this about contentment and gratefulness. What does Wordsworth wish for his sister in future? He wishes that his sister must be connected with nature forever. In her later life, she must be connected with nature, because the person who is in the lap of nature, he does not get ill, he is healthy by body and mind, and in spiritual level, the person is contented and happy. What does Wordsworth describe? The anchor of my purest thought. The natural world is the anchor of his purest thought. The purest thought he achieves from nature. Nature is a great teacher for William Wordsworth. How does Wordsworth describe his feelings towards nature in his youth? Yes, as a passionate and almost mystical devotion. Mystical devotion in the sense he thought nature, he considered nature as a nurse, as a mother who loves as well as scolds the children or child. Mothers must, they are a great teacher. They get angry with the child, and then mothers scold their children. And nature was also as a mother, as a strict mother, as a strict nurse, taught him everything. And if you studied Prelude, you must know how he was afraid of sometimes whenever he did wrong activities in nature. There is a poem, Nutting, of William Wordsworth, Nutting. He damaged the tree for getting nuts from there, and he disturbed the branches. He broke the branches and broke the leaves of the tree for getting nuts. Then after that, he felt some guilt. In the prelude, also we find when uh, he took a boat and went on that boat for sailing. Then he felt afraid of something, some power that was pervading the atmosphere. So in this way, you can remember all these things. Last question is in the there are 39 questions. You, dear student, you must have some patience. You are, I think that one student is there. Please write about your views if you are listening to me and your requirement, and subscribe to my channel, please. This is my first requirement and appeal to you, all of you. All right, let me finish the remaining question. In the poem, Wordsworth contrasts his past self with his present self. How does he describe his present self? Right, past means before revisiting Tintern Abbey, 5 years before, 5 years before, right, and now. As a more mature and reflective. After 5 years, he became more mature and reflective. Reflective means thoughtful. What does Wordsworth mean by nature's holy plan? What is nature's holy plan? The spiritual and moral guidance provided by nature. Nature has its plan for every human being. If you, maybe I or you are listener, you are audience, if you go into the lap of nature, uh, nature has automatical holy plan. Holy means it's a very good plan that it will make you feel relaxed. It will make you feel many things. You will feel, you will forget about the disappointments, sadness of human life. You will be away from stresses. So it's a healing power of nature. It raises your spirit, it raises your soul, it gives you moral guidance also, and it can be felt. There is no reasoning. If you apply reasoning to Wordsworth's poetry, I cannot see nature. Nature is there, world of grass, world of mountains, world of rivers, everything, leaves and grass. This is nature. Even stones are lying here and there, those are a part of nature. We are also a part of nature, so everybody is a part of nature. How does Wordsworth perceive, means understand, the relationship between humans and nature as mutually beneficial? Think about the city people, think about the village people. The city people live in concrete houses made of stones and bricks and cement. All right. In a way, they lose many things. The people who are living near nature in the fields, villagers, they have blessings of nature. You can yourself feel that improvement if you are in the lap of nature. So there is indispensable relationship between humans and nature. You cannot be separated from nature. Yes, human beings are separated when they opt for city life. They are separated themselves. It is their own choice. But nature does not want you to go away from nature. How does Wordsworth describe the effect of natural beauty on his mind and soul? Natural beauty, when you see a beautiful scene in nature, it lasts forever in your mind. Suppose you have recently visited hills, Shimla, you have seen beautiful places there. When you are sitting at home, you are lying on your bed, you are sitting on a sofa, and you may be thinking those natural beauty will come into your mind and refresh your mind. So it has elevating, it brings peace and tranquility when you think about them. What does Wordsworth suggest is the greatest benefit of his communion with nature? When you are wandering about in fields, green fields of your village. It means you are in connection with nature. You are in communication with nature. Nature is communicating with you at a very indirect way, level, you can say, in a very indirect way. You must, if you feel the touch, if you feel the beauty of nature through your heart, then you can understand that inner peace and understanding. Your mind will feel relaxed. This is the impact of that communication with nature. How does Wordsworth address his sister in the poem? With affection and hope. Right? What does Wordsworth imply about the power of memory in the poem? It's a source of solace and strength. Power of memory, imagination. It gives you strength. It gives you solace, satisfaction. How does Wordsworth describe the passage of time in the poem? It's a healing. The time that has passed, it becomes a healer for you. When you remember your gone past about the beautiful objects of nature you have gone through, then it becomes a great healer for you. If bad past is there, that is not a healer. Good past, when the beautiful past is there, then it can be a great healer. And if you have passed some time in natural surrounding, then it's a healer. What role does solitude play in Wordsworth's experience of nature? It enhances his appreciation and understanding. Solitude is the basic requirement when you want to enjoy nature. You must be lonely. You must not be communicating with anybody. You must not be having your mobile phone along with you. You must not be watching your mobile phone. You are not using your mobile phone when you are sitting in the lap of nature. You must be, you resign everything, you leave everything to God and enjoy nature with blank headed. No thought should come into your mind. Just think about yourself. Think about, feel your breaths also. You are breathing, feel your breathing process, and then watch the scenery around you. Which literary device is predominantly used in Tintern Abbey? This is personification. Through personification, he has described many objects of nature. So, dear students, this is all about today's session. It has covered 37 minutes. If you are still watching my stream, please write about something about this stream in your comment box, and please do subscribe to me. Alright, let me end up it.